Fans speak where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fan speaks, that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fan speak team, printing money since day one. Fan speak, forever.
Welcome back to another episode of Talking Ball. Steve-O speak. It is day 2 of the tampering period, right before the official start of free agency tomorrow. A lot to talk about. A lot happened yesterday. I'm sure more fireworks today, and of course tomorrow it all becomes official. And then this whole week we should see some good quality signings. So let me hit up Chad first. Mike Robson assumed Kendrick Bourne was just accidentally missed on the poll. They only give you so many spots, Mike. So somebody just had to lose out. We got Aiden back for day 2. We got Chad Candles in here, GM. Hope everyone is doing well. Doing here. I haven't been able to catch any Chad streams lately. Interested what he thinks about the Dolphins moves, Malik Willis. How's he feeling about that for his Dolphins? So yeah, I wanted to start here. While we had a lot of fireworks yesterday, there's plenty more here. And this is the Athletics best available free agents, and funny, of course, defensive guys. Trey Henderson, I think, is the big name to watch today. Daniel Jones transition tag. No team can technically negotiate with him until tomorrow. Got some offensive linemen. Definitely some fallout there. But Juwan Jennings, receiver market's still pretty interesting. We have Juwan Jennings, Romeo Doubs, Calvin Austin. That's ranked a little high for me. Not gonna lie about that. But eventually we'll get to Devo and Diggs. There's Diggs, Devo right back to back. So wide receiver market actually still has some pretty interesting names. Running back market's kind of thin. Rashard White we see here. He's kind of, definitely I think the last top running back available. There's a few other lower backs who could get in the mix as well. But for the teams who didn't address RB, not much left. A lot of quarterbacks. The dynamic of where they all fall, I think is still interesting. And I do want to talk a little bit about that. I did update my rankings. I believe it's up on our Substack. Now I did that this morning, but I do have it up in my Underdog, and we can talk about some. So I really try to go over kind of a first look at where I'm putting these guys. I'm definitely going to move it around. I'm sure I'm kind of planning Wednesday night, Thursday to update it again, just as I get a better feel for these situations. But there's a lot of moving parts going on right now. Chad saying, I'm so excited about Willis. If it works out, we have him for 3 years. If not, cap hit isn't horrible. Yeah, the fact that they got him way under that reported $30 million a year that came out from the combine, I think is good. Gives them at least something to root for this year. In asking thoughts on the Dowdle landing spot. Yeah, Dowdle signed after I jumped off yesterday evening, and I actually really like it. I've been saying all along, Steelers are very live for Rico Dowdle. The Mike McCarthy connection. The Steelers running back coach was like the assistant offensive line coach in Dallas. So under McCarthy, and then even after McCarthy. So, had plenty of familiarity with Rico Dowdle and his running style. So I think it's a really good signing, and they got him for a much cheaper rate. Both him and Algier signed for less than J.K. Dobbins and Kenneth Gainwell. That is wild to me. I would not have had that on the bingo card. And I think while the money's light, I think Dowdle is still very likely to be the feature back there. Definitely the touchdown back there. Jalen Warren, I think, goes back to much more the role that he had with Najee Harris. And so I think it's a big knock on Warren. It's a positive for Dowdle. It's not like a home run spot for Dowdle where he's like the clear, there's no competition. But, I think he's going to get 250-ish carries, decent, some still moderate passing work. Kind of see it. I know it's a new coaching staff, but kind of see it how Najee was used. So in all the touchdowns. And here's the other thing is I think the Steelers offense is going to be one of the best it's been in years, truly since 2019, the 2018, 2019 was the Duck Hodges year, but 2020, like the end of the Roethlisberger era. I just think they're going to score a lot more points under Mike McCarthy. They add Michael Pittman. I think that's really good for their offense. They now have two weapons. I don't think we should be treating this as what we've seen from the Steelers the last couple of years. This feels like it's going to be a much different situation with Mike McCarthy and company, and actually some talent and weapons on the team. Still need to fix some offensive line. They did lose Samalu. Broderick Jones is a concern. So there are some things there. Hartman checking in, GM. Hulk checking in. Meg checking in. Mike, of course you can't catch other streams when you're on 5 hours a day, and other hours Meg's on you about Cataboo being too low in the ranks. We got Jamie checking in. Pacheco to the Lions. Oh, wow. We said they're going to bring in some sort of veteran. I thought it could be, originally like James Conner if he was cut, J.K. Dobbins. That's probably a great landing spot for Pacheco. He's got a relatively clear path to the number 2 role. I wondered if they could be looking at like a Najee Harris or Brian Robinson Jr. So that's pretty solid for Pacheco. Not sure he's massively should be drafted right now, but in 20-round formats, I will probably move him up. You sell Malik Willis in Dynasty for 106. If not, what value are you looking to get? I have a tough time because for me, Dynasty is so much more about the full scoring system. Like, is this Superflex Dynasty or not? B, the scoring system and your entire roster and where you are. Like, if you're looking for a long-term future, then the 106 is probably better than Malik Willis, unless your quarterback situation is just so terrible. But if you're looking to win now and you need a second quarterback because it's super flex or your quarterback current situation is pretty bad, then I'd probably roll with Malik Willis. Like, very few rookies are going to make an impact in year 1, year 2. Some will, and 106 you should be able to get again quality receivers like obviously shot at Jeremiah Love, but you should kind of have your pick among second tier, first round receivers. So for me, it all depends on, and also what's your team like. Are you super deep at receiver, weak at quarterback? Like, those kind of things matter for me in those questions. I know a lot of people want to just have flat value for Dynasty, but I think it's more case by case and kind of what your objectives are. And it is how I view it. Yes, big board rankings are updated on Substack. Bill Krosky and Tootin dodging all the bullets so far, but Tootin's definitely in a better situation. Krosky Merritt, I do think, and Washington beat writers are saying like their draft is a real option. So the tough thing is, will Love be there at 7? And are you really going to trade up for him if say the Cardinals are willing to move back to 7, which I'm think they would, but you'd still have to give up a significant return. Scatterboo dodging also, but it's fly fishing. LOL. Several of my 0 RB builds feature Warren and Dowdle. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just I think their ADP should be flipped, and that's kind of what I did. I put Jalen Warren in like the low 100s. Dowdle, I'll have to double check, but kind of in the late 70s, early 80s is where I'm initially thinking. So, you just got it at the other direction. Because Warren will have his usual weeks like he did with Najee. It's just him paying off a top 100 price is going to be so much harder now. Like Meg said, don't mind handcuff situations like that. It's just now you want it at a different value. Yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't realize you meant those were your top two guys. Yeah. So, and that is what I've said is like initially I've done a couple 0RB builds, but 0RB didn't feel great. While there are a few guys who seemed like they're going to be good value, like Dowdle, like Algier, there's so many landmines right now. And depending on when you're drafting, like in some, still might be a landmine, like a JCM. Some are just total, like I feel Trey Benson is just totally dust right now. Like his chance to have value on the Cardinals is pretty thin right now. With the Algier Connor signing, like Algier kind of fine-ish where he's at ADP wise. Connor I think moves up. That I think has a more of a chance of a split backfield, or more of a chance where like to me the Dowdle Warren outside of injury, because injuries obviously generally can play a big role in this, but outside of injury, if they're both relatively healthy for the year, it's going to be very tough for Warren to outscore Dowdle in fantasy points. He's just never been a touchdown guy. Yes, he's a good passing back, but we're not talking Christian McCaffrey here. We're not talking Jahmyr Gibbs here. And Rico Dowdle is not like a complete zero in the passing game, kind of similar to Najee. So, yes, Warren will outscore him in that department. And, with the combined receiving yards and what rushing yards Warren has, so 800-ish combined yards. So, he can get 140, maybe 150 points. But Dowdle he can easily clear 180, 190, 200, 220. And just feel there's a much higher ceiling there, where the Cardinals, I think it's much more, it could go either way. It's how I feel. Like, I don't mind betting on, the younger Algier and the guy that they want. But at the same time, James Conner is just hit outside of last year when he got injured early, and it was significant enough not to be able to come back from. He's been very, very good. Most people who have Willis in Dynasty, he's quarterback 4 or 5 on my team. Yeah, I mean, if it's that deep, I would say trade him, because he can be a fine starter, and he'll have some spike week value. But in Dynasty, unless it's like Best Ball Dynasty, where great, you get his 30-point game, but his games where he has like 15 points and he's your third or fourth highest quarterback when you have 4 or 5, you don't want to be not playing, I don't know who some of those quarterbacks are, but even like the more statuesque quarterbacks, like a Jared Goff. Like a Jared Goff is going to have probably just as many 20-plus point games as Malik Willis. Malik Willis just has higher like ceiling combo or upside. Pepper Tony, Sup Pups. Yeah, slap it up. Aiden already mentioned Pacheco to the Lions. That I think is a interesting spot. Mike saying, yeah, I have him at 80. Okay, I knew it was late 70s, early 80s. I couldn't remember where I finalized him on. Chad asking, where are my thoughts on Algier to Arizona? So just kind of answered that. I still would not be surprised. We get to week 17 and Connor's just the better back, the back that you needed for the year, for the playoffs. That he's the lead back, just getting more total touchdowns, more total points opportunities, because I do think Connor's the better pass catcher of the two. But I do also think it could end up just being very close. So maybe Algier just edges ahead because he gets an extra 2 touchdowns than Connor or something like that. So it's close. I will, as long as Algiers ADP doesn't go up too much, I'm fine taking a share of him, a solid share of him, but it's not somebody like I'm going to really jump the field on. We got this man in here with the dot. We got Huhames in here. I will be on with Huhames at 3. So we'll get into a draft shortly because I like to get 2 in. And, because I do want to get 2 in before I'm with Huhames. I'm going to be talking a lot of free agency with Huhames as well. Jabran Brown asks, do you think there's any chance Warren and Dowdle split the red zone work? I just don't think so. Maybe it's possible. It is a new staff and all that, but the staff has way more ties to Rico Dowdle than obviously Jalen Warren. And I just think on top of that, like, Rico's very kind of good, pretty good in the red zone. Like, he's been pretty solid. Last year with the Panthers especially, he had really nice work inside the red zone. And he can do enough. It's not like he's a complete zero in the passing game. I think Warren will get worked in some, but especially like goal line stuff, like inside the 5, I'm guessing that's very much Dowdle's territory. Like maybe some at the 10, at the 15, definitely on third downs, you could see Warren come in. Maybe he gets, some touchdowns there, but outside of last year, Warren has never been a touchdown guy. So, and even last year was, Gainwell, I think he had about the same touchdowns as him. They kind of split that. I just think it's going to lean in favor of Dowdle by a fairly solid margin. We got kicks in here. I can see 56% snaps for Algier. Just look at his rookie year when he's getting, I think that situation is probably more like 55-45 would be my guess, where I think the Dowdle Warren is probably going to be more in the 60-40. And that sounds like a small gap, but that can matter. And it's more also like where the points scored, because touchdowns matter the most. So if Dowdle ends up with 8 to 10 touchdowns and Warren ends up with 4 to 5, even if Warren doubles Dowdle's receiving yardage, Dowdle's going to have a significantly more rushing yardage, you would assume. There's just a lot more points, where if Algier and Connor kind of share that role much closer and the touchdowns are maybe 1 or 2 in one direction, even if Algier gets 2 more touchdowns, maybe Connor at 130, 140 is still the better pick. Gained in. Oh crap. Disbanded talks. I can only communicate dots and dashes. Problem with Dowdle is that McCarthy is always the last guy on the planet to recognize who the best running back in the room. Williams over Jones in Green Bay, Zeke over Pollard, and Dowdle. Yeah, but I guess that's the thing. Like, I think the best back is Dowdle. Like, Jalen Warren is not. I know some in the fantasy community like absolutely love Jalen Warren, but he's just not actually been that good. He had a couple of big games last year that kind of saved his season. But Kenneth Gainwell was outproducing him for good parts of the year. So, I think Jalen Warren is fine. Like, people think that I knock him too much, but he is. I said this last year, he is Austin Eckler light, but not like prime Austin Eckler when Eckler was like leading the league in touchdowns. He's like, the Austin Eckler satellite back light. And, I just think that's fine. There's a quality role, NFL role, and definitely a fantasy role there. But it's just not, it doesn't have a massive ceiling, is my kind of point with it. All right, let's get into a draft. And we can keep talking about this. So I'm going to jump in a big board. Let me count it down. Entering in 10 seconds. Entering in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. And it's all about price. Like you want, like last year, Austin Eckler, granted he got hurt, but it wasn't about that. Like, we knew what Austin Eckler's role would have been. And for much of the year, he was going in the 150s, 160s. Then after the Brian Robinson trade, he moved up to like 130s, a little in the 120s. But that's where you want those kind of backs, not 70. Does it matter that Gainwell got more money than Dowdle or Algier? Is it close enough not to matter? I mean, generally I'd say it's close enough not to matter. It's just shocking to me. Rico Dowdle is coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard years. Tyler Algier, last chance he got to be anything close to a feature back, he had 1,000 yards. Kenny Gainwell, I don't think anyone considers him a feature back. I think people consider him a good satellite back. But yeah, to me, it's a little bit more of a shock when those backs just have much more feature back upside, and particularly Dowdle coming up back-to-back 1,000-yard years, and they're all roughly the same age. It's not like there's an age issue or something of that nature. Despina with the 1. Does Algier lead the league in the most often having his name misspelled? Yeah, that's up there. I also did think for Rico, he went from being paired up with one Oklahoma State back to another Oklahoma State back, Chuba and Jalen Warren. Who's the backup for Bijan now? Right now, that's a good question. I don't think they have one. I would not be surprised if we, see a small-time free agent. One name to maybe keep an eye on is Jerome Ford, who's with Stefanski in Chicago and Cleveland. Maybe they look at somebody like a Najee Harris or somebody like that as well. Kind of a reclamation project sort of thing. Yeah, Tyler Algier, spelling his last name, I never get it right the first time. Right, still waiting on 3. So one of the big moves for me, and I was ahead of the field on him already, I did move Kenneth Walker up. But not as high as people take him. I have him at 16. But Mike Evans, I moved him to, I think, 38, 37. I just think he gets just the perfect landing spot in San Francisco, particularly this year with Kittle, probably more limited or missing time from the injury. There's just a massive role this Kyle Shanahan offense, and it's just really, really good. We know this year in, year out. I mean, look at all the missed time they had from guys last year and how they produced. Yes, McCaffrey was healthy, but he was the only one. Everyone else missed significant time and didn't stop this offense missing much of a beat. So, boy, if Purdy can stay healthy this year, Mike Evans is just, I think, in line for a big, big year. Alligator. Mike Evans, when he was going in the 70s, that was just because, and that was my point. I think worst case scenario, not worst case, but his floor is kind of coming back to Tampa. Just, at that time, if he'd gone to Buffalo or if he'd gone to Kansas City or, even if he replaces Alec Pierce for the Colts, where was he going to go that was going to be a worse situation? All right, let's see. We are in here. I'm in at the 11. I see JT in here. Not sure if he's in chat. Ladies first is in a lot of drafts, but not sure if they're in chat either. If anyone's in here, say hi. But it's hopefully we have a good, fun draft, and don't mind not having as much competition as I usually do. Mike saying, sounds like someone sounds like they've been listening to the Wags of San Francisco Players podcast. Oh, Meg has. I'm not bullish on Kittle. For me, it's about Purdy because, he missed significant amount of time. And they still finished. Sorry, I don't know why this isn't working. They still finished 10th in points, 7th in yards. If he was helped, for as good of a job that Mac Jones did, Purdy is better. I think there's no question. Yeah, when it initially launched, there was a retirement, but that kind of went out the window weeks ago. And even still, there was a tweet, I think even right around when this launched, right after the season, where Evans was like, I feel like something more, he felt reinvigorated at the end of the season or something like that. And it just didn't sound like that. But I agree, there was an initial retirement concern, but that kept getting chipped away, and he just didn't go up. Not by much. So I'll go Jefferson here. Hopefully, I don't think we'll hear today. I don't think Kyler is officially released yet. Same with Cousins, but I'm still imagining one of those two end up in Minnesota. Probably Geno's the worst case scenario. And all three are just massive upgrades. I know Hames had Neil Orfield on his channel and talked about this a little yesterday. JJ McCarthy, it was rough. And, I made the comment, and I've been saying this, it was unquestionably Carson Wentz was not good last year, but also unquestionably he was far, far better than JJ McCarthy and Max Brosmer. And the proof is in the Justin Jefferson numbers. Almost double production on a per game basis. We got Bukowski in here. Good luck. Love the spot. Yeah, the back half of the draft doesn't feel bad, especially feeling better about Jefferson. Evans, San Francisco, that was definitely that, or the Bills, before the DJ Moore, I think would have been the two alpha spots. And yeah, he got one of them. So that's just fantastic. I like Dowdle over Zeke, and I like him over Warren. The problem is McCarthy's afraid to choose talent and instead always goes first with the established guy in the room. Maybe, but I guess what I'm saying is Dowdle's the established guy in his room. Yes, Warren's been with the team, but Dowdle's the one who knows McCarthy, knows the running back coach. Yes, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, Rodgers worked with Warren, but Rodgers also worked with Warren and saw Gainwell kind of take a pretty large share of that role. And Gainwell was the one named team MVP, not Jalen Warren. So, I just think, again, Warren has a role, but I think Dowdle is going to be the guy. And the couple of Steelers beat writers, their initial reports, not that they're going to come out and say this, but that's their feel as well. A couple basically said Warren is at his best as a satellite back, he was used, previous couple of years. So that's how I'm treating it. Zeke's still in the league. He's probably still in the player pool. Let's see. Yep. Don't think I'll be taking him. Crazy that JJM got carried by the Natty, but Will Howard didn't. Yeah, some of it is McCarthy definitely had a lot of tools. He's got a good arm, obviously fairly athletic. I know some of these things apply to Will Howard to an extent. Extremely highly recruited, and then his age was considered a benefit. Now, I actually don't know, we're just seeing more and more with quarterbacks. Usually it's the best quarterbacks who come out are the ones who have actually been in college longer. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, et cetera. Tyler Shuck was there for 18 years. But no, I do think there can be a lot of benefit to that. Like, youth is not always a benefit for quarterbacks coming out. And that's, I think, Ty Simpson's issue. Now, can you handle it right? Sure. Like, that's why I say Ty Simpson should be redshirted. I think part of the issue with JJ McCarthy, well, there was talk that he would, play his rookie year. I'm pretty sure the injury hid that. And I know there would have been calls from certain circles of Vikings fans to play him his rookie year, the few times Darnold struggled. But I don't think particularly once camp started and everything, that Kevin O'Connell would have wanted to give JJ McCarthy more than mop-up duty in any game. I think he knew pretty quickly this guy needed time. And unfortunately, he did get injured. And so you lose all that practice time. And then the next year, it's like all the pressure's on you, and he wasn't ready. And he probably needed, Phillip Rivers sitting 2 years, Aaron Rodgers sitting 3 years. Did they necessarily need to sit that long? Maybe not. But I don't think it hurt him. We will take Hiron here. And I'm going to pull up Mike Evans if he gets back to me. I think the more interesting thing about the JJ McCarthy thing was why teams were higher on him than like Bo Nix. That's where they have been most wrong. I mean, I don't know, Flyfish. I just kind of think what has he done to show that he can be a feature back? We see these flash play here or there, but there's never, anytime he's gotten consistent work, that hasn't been it. He's had fumble issues in his past. He's not been good player. Just, I think he's limited, and he's 5'8", and there's a few 5'8" guys who can make it, but those are the exception, not the rule. Yeah. I can see JJ McCarthy as an LA Ram once 10 years over. Doesn't work out there soon as a backup. Yeah, I mean, the good news for him, he's young. He does have some of the natural tools. It's just a matter of learning how to harness them, learning how to use it. I think a big part of his issue is when he won the national championship, but it was such a run-first, defensive-first team. I mean, he had in his career, and he started 2.5 years, so he started a decent amount, but he only had I had to go back and look. I remember when he came out, it was 300-yard games. And, honestly, in college, it's easier to get 300-yard games. Most offenses are more, there's more play volume. There's just more ability for that. And couldn't ever really do it. And one of the things, if you remember that natty run, late in the year, they played Penn State. And I think this was one of the games Harbaugh was suspended for the whole Honor Stallions thing. And they had a lead. In the second half, J.J. McCarthy threw the ball one time in the entire second half. They won the game. I mean, it worked with Corum and Edwards. But it was clear, that he was not the one. They were not putting the ball in his hands. Let me catch up in chat. Oh, you mean Charger with Harbaugh? Yeah, I can see that. Evans moves up while Diggs drops 50 spots. Both 32 years old. Do we dislike Cardi B that much? Well, for me, I just want to see where Diggs's landing spot is. I think it could still be very positive, but it doesn't always come out great. Like Rashid Shaheed staying in Seattle, great for real life, Seahawks, but not great for his fantasy upside. Like had he gone to the Raiders, had he gone to the Steelers, had he gone to Washington to be a clear number two, like he's not even a clear number two with Cooper Kupp there. And of course, JSN just gets, at least last year, got massive volume. So, like if depending on landing spot for Diggs and Debo, Dubs, I still think they have a lot of value, but that's going to be kind of the deciding thing. I think people are really worried about the DK Metcalf with Pittman. I'll scoop value, like I won't take him here. Probably. But I think Pittman's great for DK. I go Dave Montgomery here. Like it just makes the Steelers offense that much better. DK and Pittman can both return value, particularly at their current ADPs. Christian Watson's pretty tempting. We'll see what I get. Yeah, I'll go Christian Watson here. Chad McCann was asking, he's probably one of the most boom bust picks right now. Alive to take Love, or he could be. No, I agree. What I will say, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but I do think if they take Love, he probably then gets traded to a team that lost out on a running back, whether it's Washington, Seattle, somebody else. I have a tough time believing maybe he just gets flat out cut, but I'd guess like traded for a 6th, 7th round or something like that. Kind of similar to DeAndre Swift a couple years ago when Lions took Gibbs. That would be my guess. So I think he's got he'd still potentially be live. I haven't really taken him much lately. I want to see where he falls, where his ADP kind of settles. But yeah, that's a tough situation for me. I get those two teams mixed up so much now. I get he's not a world beater, but Dude's always been efficient, well-rounded game, always over 5 yards per carry in his career. Yeah, I mean, again, I think he's fine. It's just, I think some of that is also selection bias. Like a lot of times in his early years with the Steelers, a lot of his runs were in like 3rd and long situations, and because they didn't trust Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett to not throw an interception, so they would run Jaylen Warren. And to his credit, sometimes he'd break that run for a 7-10 yard gain and pick up the first down. But he faced some light boxes more than most. Not as much last year. Last year he got more of a regular workload, and there were times, overall he ended up playing better down the stretch. But boy, there were stretches. I remember game, maybe the first Browns game, where his first couple of runs both went for a good gain, and then then a couple like solid 4 or 5 yard gains, and then like his next 12 were all under 3 yards. It's just like, oh man, like you're just not producing. And his overall yards per carry was solid for the game, but it was solely predicated on like his first 2 runs. And yeah, that happens to everyone, but he had a couple games like that. He was just not a guy like play in, play out, drive in, drive out you could rely on. Meg said she just posted her 3 value stacks in best ball. Nice. No, I do agree with this. I mean, original draft capital can be a factor. And the other thing is, and this is what we should expect, and we see this in other situations where new coaches are bringing in guys they know. I've been taking a lot of Chimere DK, but Titans get Wandale, and he's probably the primary slot. So what does that mean for DK? That is a concern of mine. Let's see what this pick. Do Tucker Craft. Build out Green Bay a little bit. I move Pittman up as well. I think he gets a nice solid jump. We'll see. Steelers are still going to add other receivers, but they gave him solid money. I think they are going to feature DK and Pittman quite a bit. So I think I will go. I'll go Pittman here. I moved Wandale up a bit. I think I might move him up even further, because just knowing how he was utilized the last 2 years for the Giants, 140 targets. Obviously we want more this past year than the year before, but maybe that could be the case, because this past year it was kind of the deck got cleared for him with the early Neighbors injury, 2 Slayton injuries, even Scatterboo going down. Like, there just became less and less reliable pass catchers in the Giants offense. So, Wandale started running more than just slants and screens. Like I said, I'm moved DK down a little bit, definitely moved Wandale up. Probably a guy I'm going to keep moving up, because I just feel there's a solid ceiling for him. Yeah, this too, his court date. But I kind of agree. Like, I don't think it's that major. I mean, we'll see. I mean, these situations we've seen go any different direction. Like saying I'm a big Cardi B fan. I mean, I'm sure I've heard them. I could not name one. You could offer me max entries into the BBM, and I don't think I can name one without Googling it. For the reason I'm Steve Young. Shout. Oh God, appreciate you guys. A lot. Yeah, I thought that was Cardi B. I wasn't sure. Steam WC in here. Hope you're doing well. I opened the article and see Muth and Rogers. They will be the stack you need to win Best Ball 2026. Yeah, that's where Meg's at. But I do think the Steelers offense, and even with Aaron Rodgers, I think it's going to be top 20 this year. Would not be surprised me if I don't think it's top 10, but what the hell is going on? But it would not surprise, they were 15th in points last year, 25 in yards. Wasn't, I know a lot of people knock Rodgers, but they finished 17th in passing attempts, 22 in passing yards, 11th in passing touchdowns. It was their rushing that was down. They were 28th in rushing attempts, 26th in rushing yards, and 17th in rushing touchdowns. So, that should be improved with Dowdle, and now having Pittman. I mean, they just had no weapon, no other receiving weapon last year. So let's see what I get here. Okay, Rico falls back. I will take that. So I'm in 0441. Unfortunately, my quarterbacks all went, which is why I'm getting some values elsewhere. And I'll actually push quarterback one more go. Really expecting Jordan Love with one of these picks, especially since I got those pieces. That did not occur. I just read the favorite team stacks and wondered if the Saints might be mentioned too. You're so back, but I mean it's. I think it's going to be much better than people expect. Like I think it's definitively going to be better than last year, and you just read off where they were last year. Steve, I was on cloud nine when I saw Kelsey returning the benefit of drafting like one day after division. Yeah, no, I mean, he and still like did some, just a lot of slows that I'm in and more on other sites, but he's not getting jumped up too much yet. So, so far, where's his ADP sitting 156? So it could be a slow ramp up, and I'm much higher on him. I'm at 126. I put him even above Andrews, who I'm higher on. Moved likely up to 134. That's a big tight end range, those couple rounds. I mean, I'm higher on Strange. I'm higher on a lot of them just because I think that's where the value is. And quarterbacks are running out. I did see where, who was it, is monitoring Rashid White, the Seahawks, monitoring Rashid White as an option. That'd be a solid spot for him. So yeah, I definitely seems like Rashad White. I just said Rashid, right? Rashad White could have a nice landing spot. Reading Twitter right now, Connor Hughes saying all signs point to Geno Smith going to the Jets. So yeah, that kind of, boy, if it really could be Cousins, missing out on the dance, so to speak. Now I do wonder if one thing I did want to mention is I know Underdog reported it, but it was a radio host and not to say, or like a sports radio guy. And just checking with various Cardinals beat writers, they're not saying 100% that Jacoby Brissett's the starter. Now, I do think he's worth drafting a little bit more just right now, but I don't know if we should 100% treat him as the starter. It's been most Cardinals beat writers seem to be very milquetoast about the way that they are approaching that. They're saying, well, the opportunity's there or things of that nature. And I think the ESPN beat writer was like, as it stands now, he would be the starter. And it's just like, that's not exactly a ringing endorsement for Jacoby Brissett. Let's see if we can get Darnold. We do. Yeah, all signs point to the Jets. That I think that it's a nice full circle moment for Geno coming back to the Jets, and it honestly can't be much worse than it was with the Raiders. I'm gonna pull up Cam Ward with the stack. Excuse me. Strangeberg, Kelsey, Schultz, Ott, and Muth couldn't name a better tight end room. I think there's a lot of tight ends. Otten coming back, I think that's good for him. It's likely to the Giants, positive, and definitely a negative for Theo Johnson. One low-key move last night was Greg Dulcich re-signed with the Dolphins. Now they could still bring in somebody, so I'm not like gonna fully recommend drafting Greg Dulcich right now, but he might end up being the starting tight end there. Where's the ideal landing spot for Emmett Johnson? Well, I think one of these situations, they're pretty wide open. Probably the best landing spot would be the Vikings right now. Just because Jordan Mason has like no pass catching ability, and Emmett Johnson is one of the best in college at that. And I just think there'd be a lot of opportunity. But if Washington drafts Emmett Johnson in the third round, I think he's probably playing significantly over JCM. Seattle drafts Emmett Johnson. They move up the list, but I think Emmett Johnson can be a good, solid number 2 back on a lot of some teams out there. Packers would be like the low end, like not as a good fit, just because Jacobs does so much. But plenty of teams like that where there's a lot of opportunity. Insane Cousins on a 1 year to Minnesota, Geno 1 year to the Jets, an even better football game. Yeah, well, then what happens with Kyler Murray is I don't think he's going back to the Cardinals, and then that would just leave like the Browns, which would be an upgrade for them, but not a great situation for him. No, Geno for Garrett Wilson is actually probably pretty good. I will. And speaking of, like, even the Malik Willis signing, I moved Waddle up some because I was really worried that the Dolphins, given their cap situation with the Tua thing, might be just totally taking the cheapest quarterback options possible. And so until I saw what they did, I had Waddle down. I moved Waddle up a little bit. Yeah, Minshew Mania could still be a thing. With Brissett, does that move up Wilson a bit more? Or is it malpractice to even expect 50% target share of what he got without Marv? Yeah, and I think the other thing with it is they had no running game at the end. It was the last 12 weeks and especially later. So Brissett was throwing the ball 40 plus times a game. Like he averaged over 40 attempts. That's very, very high. And that's over a 12 game sample. This wasn't a 3 game sample. All right, I will take Daniel Jones. Yeah, no tight end I need there. Take Daniel Jones. So even if Brissett's back, and while the offense might be more efficient, so that could help some, but I'd be shocked if they're averaging more than like 34, 35 max attempts. And that matters for really, I think it really impacts Trey McBride, because while he'll still dominate targets, be a major force, like he was getting just insane usage. And it's because they were throwing the ball. And I mean, there was a game Brissett literally threw the NFL record for pass attempts. I'll go Omar Cooper Jr. here. Yeah, I think those would be good. I think Washington would as well, because Washington, they absolutely need a back who can catch the ball. JCM does not have that in his wheelhouse. At least that's what it looks like. Minnesota is my dream. Yeah, for sure. I don't think Chicago makes sense with Swift and Monangai, but Green Bay definitely. And I think the Ravens, they let Keaton Mitchell go. I could see them looking at him. They don't have they don't have their first round pick, so they need to maybe prioritize other things in running back on day 2. I think they would be in the mix. They could absolutely see like a team. I was going to say, excuse me. I was going to say the Titans, if they don't go Love, I could see them just adding a young running back, because as I've said before, Pollard's like in the last year of his deal, and Spears is an impending free agent. Of course, neither one was brought in by the staff, so could see something like that. Like Titans might not take Love, but still add a day 2 running back. But it kind of all depends on how they view Spears. Ashawn Robinson, released by Carolina. Cousins feels alive to Vegas or Cleveland. Yeah, I could maybe see Cousins in Cleveland. I also think, if he'd be willing to do it. But if Cousins was willing to sign as a backup for the 49ers, that would open up a Mac Jones trade. Obviously not great for drafting Cousins in this, but like Kyle Shanahan loved Cousins. Like he tried, when he got the head coaching job with the 49ers, he tried multiple times to trade for Cousins before they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo. And Washington dumbly refused. Like reportedly, they were offered like 2 second-round picks and then some, and Washington refused, and then got a comp 3rd-round pick a couple years later. Fantastic job. So yeah, so I could see something like that. It also would work with the Rams if Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't come back. Cousins could sign as a backup there. Obviously, he knows those offenses extremely, extremely well. I feel like Geno's being potentially brought in to make sure they have a top pick. Everyone says the next draft class is stacked. Start to see Geno start to get the first pick and Glenn fired. It worked for us Raiders fans. Yeah, they should just bring in Chip Kelly to consult. That would just seal the deal. You can start it out, then it's going to lock up the number 1 pick down the stretch. Yeah. I did actually wonder that Huhames, because Evan Johnson can do everything Brashard Smith can do as a receiving back, and then just so much more. I do wonder if the Chiefs are going to look for more of a, like I mentioned yesterday, like particularly like 4th round, like Katron Allen feels like a great Chiefs back. Coming to Atlanta would piss some people off. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a great landing spot, but he'd have a lot of he'd actually have more opportunity there than other places. Fields is already practicing for the 2028 flag football Olympics. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great handcuff for sure. Let's take Gunnar Helm. They run in Daniel Bellinger. I think that keeps Helm pretty alive to be the number 1 tight end. I'll take Brian Robinson over this bunch. I mean, if Sean Tucker ends up in a solid spot, I'll move him right back up. But right now, I kind of worried about where he ends up. Yeah, I actually think it could be fun. But this exercise is really helpful is for showing post-free agency, there are pretty few optimal running back landing spots. Definitely. I think this is the one thing with, even though the class kind of struggled as a whole last year, their last year's class, a lot of guys are going to get second chances or expand on their chances. So you have a lot of teams who, like, the Raiders are going to add some back at some point. I know they've said maybe Emma Johnson goes to the Raiders, but and the other one that we've kind of glossed over is the Jaguars. I have a tough time believing it's going to be the Tootin LaQuint Allen show. I did move Tootin up, but probably not nearly as high as most people would have him, because whether they add a free agent like a Rashard White, or they draft somebody, they drafted Emma Johnson, they drafted Jonah Coleman. Like, I think somebody is going to get added to that mix. Yeah, Kicks, Bears. I mentioned this in our Discord. One of the least surprising moves, Ben Johnson bringing in Khalif Raymond after the DJ Moore trade. Their wide receiver depth was very, very thin. So Raymond comes in, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Jody Walker, he's right now technically the fourth on the team, so should be fine. Taking Brian Robinson as early as like 165, I feel like his rise potential could be a lot. Agreed, I've taken him considerably ahead of ADP multiple times, especially on some of the other sites when ADPs are a little bit more wacky. Here I kind of got him right where he's going. And no, he signs anyway. Even some of these places we're just talking about, like Atlanta number 2, Vegas number 2. Like, honestly, I don't care. If he goes anywhere where he's a number 2, he should move up. Got JT in here. What's up, buddy? Doing good. How are you doing? We got a guy Tyler in here. Raiders having a great offseason. Yeah. No, they're doing very well, and he loves the Steelers pickups. Yeah, we talked about that. I'm very bullish on Dowdle and Pittman. I think those are great, great additions to this offense. And I said it. I think this is going to be the best Steelers offense we've seen since like the 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 Steelers. Like towards the tail end of the Ben era, but when they were still like producing pretty well. Again, probably not top 5, but in top 10 could be a stretch. But I think they're going to be somewhere in that 10 to 15 range. Would not shock me. Sad that Johnny Walker isn't in the player pool. That would be very surprising. JT saying, I think Tyson Badgett gets traded and starts for a team. Tough thing is there aren't that many starting spots left. So maybe he gets traded, but I don't know. I know the Bears would love, I think, to get a pick for him. But I don't really see that happening. Let me take Cade Otton back in Tampa. I think we kind of can easily predict his role. So done at tight end. Looking at these two spots. Take a lot of Singleton, take a fair amount of Najee. Definitely much lower on Caleb Johnson now. Ollie Gordon, I think, is solid. I moved him up some. I'm going to go Najee. BTJ traded was rumored most to Jets or Giants. Giants obviously intriguing with the Neighbors BTJ pairing again. And, makes some sense. Jets would be surprising. Granted, they have extra draft picks, and it's a young franchise caliber receiver, but, it's not going to help you this year. And where Giants, at least theoretically, with having their quarterback in place, Could they have a quick turnaround? Potentially. Like, I don't think we should think they're going to do, the Bears or the Patriots jump with the new coach, but it's definitely at least in the cards. And at the very least, I think they could be pretty competitive this year, if not next. Jets, they feel like much further away. And without having a quarterback, like, yes, you could have Wilson and BTJ ready to go for said quarterback next year, but it just feels like why spend that capital now? Can be great when the Steelers have 4 guys a week get 11 points. I mean, that would be 4 guys getting usable weeks. That'd be pretty good. So I don't know. I think we're going to see DK and Pittman be the leaders in the passing game. I think Dowdle is going to be the clear rushing leader. Warren will have some usable weeks and be okay, but he needs to go down. And most likely Freiermuth is their top tight end. Rumors Brian Robinson Jr. just might return to San Francisco, which is honestly fine. Yeah, at that point, he's just like one of the best handcuffs in the game. For me, the only problem there is that that's one of the few places where the backup running back gives you almost nothing. Like most places, and it's just a matter of price. Like most places, you can count on the backup running back to give you a couple usable weeks. And some due to injuries or whatnot. But, we knew all along, like whoever the Buccaneers backup was, they were going to produce some usable weeks. I don't think we thought it would be them investing in Kenny Gainwell over Sean Tucker. So that made things a little bit more murky. But, even a guy like Justice Hill 2 years ago for the Ravens had like 4 10-plus point games. And Brian Robinson, that's like the one or two areas where it's like probably not a lot there. But still would be draftable as a pure handcuff, like in one of the best handcuffs. So that's why I said, like, if Brian Robinson went to the Falcons, I would bet on 3 to 5 10-plus point weeks. On the 49ers, it's more like 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Naylor goes. I was hoping I'd get him back. He hasn't signed yet, but I'll take Darnell Mooney. And for the last receiver, I think I can mix in a rookie. Christian Kirk, Hollywood. I do think we have some of these guys like Tyquan Thornton back with the 49ers, Jahan Dotson with the Falcons. Like, it doesn't sound great, but there's some usable points out there. But I'm just gonna go for a rookie upside play because I don't, outside of Cooper Jr., I don't have rookies on this team. So let's take a shot on Bryce Lance. Thoughts on Minshew starts over Brissett. Yeah, I talked about this a little already, but whereas the Underdog reported and others took to it that Brissett is definitively the starter, and it comes from one sports radio host in Arizona who said that. I tried to look into it more and just looking at multiple beat writers, and they were much more like hesitant to say that. Like some would be like, Brissett has a chance to start again, or another one was like, right now, if the season started today, Brissett would be the starter. Like, these are not ringing endorsements. So I don't know if it means, Minshew has a greater chance that they could add somebody else and trade Brissett. I do think if they do go with Minshew and Brissett, it probably makes them very live to get Ty Simpson at the top of the second round, or maybe even trade up to the very end of the first to get that fifth-year option. Not that I think Simpson will start a lot, but I think, to me, if you're only going with Minshew and Brissett and you're a brand new coaching staff, I think you have to have a future plan. Looks like A-Rob pulling the same crap as last year, not committal. I keep drafting them. Yeah, I'm still leaning that Rodgers is back. I'm sure the Steelers have a better understanding. I don't think it's going to last till July. My guess is we will likely see that soon, in the next week or two. BTJ rumors about him going to bad teams makes it seem like it's coming from the Jags trying to get him to get his stuff together or he's out. Maybe his agent also trying to push some of this stuff. Love the likely dart combo for the Giants. He used Theo a lot last year and likely can get downfield more. Agreed. And we just also know, Harbaugh, while not like he's not in charge of the offense, he comes from, his success with the Ravens has been very tight end focused over the years. And likely being part of that. And then Matt Nagy, for all his faults, his success, his time with the Chiefs, very tight end focus. So you would think that likely is going to be a big part of that. Yeah, I agree with this. I'd be nervous if I was Gladstone Cohen and I heard away BTJ. Use Myers, Washington, and a corner as your wide receiver room. I think Travis Hunter, just make him receiver. I think he's the best receiver on the team. The problem is none of those guys are an X receiver. They're all slot or Z receivers. And that's fine. You need those. But BTJ is your classical X receiver and one that has a vertical element to his game. Travis Hunter can be your focal point on offense. I would just say you're a wide receiver and be done with it. Bring him in a handful of plays at corner. I think it'd still be effective. But it's, I don't know. I think that there's a lot there if you wanted it, but you'd still need to find some sort of X, whether, it could be the sacrificial version of an X. Chiefs just gave $11 million to Tyquan Thornton to be that, downfield will hit you a couple times, but more or less you're clearing the way for whoever other receivers are. Yeah, they need to figure something out. That wide receiver room, I actually think, if anything, try and trade Parker Washington. I bet you get at least a fourth rounder for a guy you took in the sixth round. And that clears things up. Have your wide receiver room be BTJ, Myers, who you just paid, and Hunter, and that would be a pretty damn good offense. I'd love for us to trade Muth and possibly draft Sadiq if he falls a bit, or Stowers. Sadiq I could see. Stowers, I don't know about Stowers. Like, he is very limited in what he can do. And I know Steelers have Darnell Washington, but I also think Steelers want to be much more. I think the Steelers are still going to be more 11 personnel than some of these teams. Like, I don't think it's like Rams could just be in 12 or 13 personnel. Like, they will have at least two tight ends on the field probably over half the time next year. Steelers, I think, could be, might do it more than we've seen in McCarthy's offenses in the past, but I don't think they're going to be a primary 12 team. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. So I think you need a tight end like Brian Muth who can both block and get vertical. For as good as Darnell Washington is, and even as a pass catcher, it's within 5 yards, 10 yards max. Like, he had like maybe two plays beyond that. It's just not going to be his game, obviously. Rumor is BTJ would go for a third, and that there would be, oh my God, that would be awful. Like DJ Moore got a second, and I know there's a later pick flip back, but DJ Moore got pick 60 or whatever it was, 59, whatever the Bills gave up, and he also cost $24 million a year. BTJ is on a very cheap deal for the next 3 years. Yeah, and that's where I'm like Sadiq. I could see it from like a long-term investment upside, but prime youth is, and I think like McCarthy is not gonna, whether Rodgers is back or not. Like McCarthy, they're gonna try and win it. Like Steelers are not gonna do this like rebuild type thing. That's pretty clear and obvious. Someone a Bryce Lance bull now. I mean, I'm mixing him in the 20th round. I think it's fair. I think he goes probably, late second, third round. And that would make a lot of sense. Who would love to see Cousins sign it. Yeah, I still think that makes a lot of sense. There's just a ton of connections there between LaFleur. Well, he and Cousins never overlapped in Washington. Cousins' first positional coach, Matt LaFleur. His first offense coordinator, Kyle Shanahan. Sean McVay was tight ends coach, and then eventually like passing game coordinator and offense coordinator after Shanahan. So Cousins' second offense coordinator and the one he blossomed with. Mike LaFleur's entire coaching career, outside of also being brothers with Matt LaFleur, has been under Shanahan and McVay. So would just make a lot of sense. Don't let him fool you, Who I have the receipts for pre-combine. Yeah, no, I will admit, when I went on Who show, I said there's no way Bryce Lance is as good of an athlete as Christian Watson, and I was wrong. Minshew is a giga-cooked noodle arm and hasn't been good since 2020. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I just don't know if they are counting on Brissett. Like, my point is not saying, like, if the season were to be Brissett and Minshew, I think Brissett wins. But if they could add somebody else, I think that's when I say the beat reporters are very hesitant to fully affirm Brissett and anoint him as the starter. That's what I more mean by that. I do think, and I meant to look this up, I do think Nathaniel Hackett and Minshew overlapped in Jacksonville, so I think there's some familiarity, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check that as we keep talking through. Trading BTJ for pennies. Oh yeah, that'd be a terrible move. Like Geno traded to the Jets. Was the release not official yet? And man, Raiders are just cooking. I know it's a pick swap, but this is the same pick swap that the Steelers gave up for Michael Pittman. But Geno was going to get cut, and the Jets, I know it's nothing, like a 6th-round pick and Geno in the 7th. Some of that is probably just, and that probably actually helps the Raiders. I'd have to double check on over the cap. That probably helps them financially as well. But here's the big one. Romeo Doubs, 3-year, $60 million deal with the Patriots. So Doubs actually gets more money, slightly more per year than Wan'Dale. So that's good for him, and that's a good landing spot. Yeah, Raiders fleeced them. And as Pepper Tony says, Jet's gonna jet. This flyfish, I think, is right. Jeff Cooley asks, who's Bryce Lance? He's a receiver from North Dakota State. He's Trey Lance's younger brother. And, played at a smaller school, big, physical, actually, very similar to Christian Watson in size, but he blew up the combine. So, maybe not the most NFL ready, but, probably a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Yeah, I just saw that when I looked up the Geno thing. So I know I'm behind. That is a great move. Great for Doubs. great for the Patriots. But I cannot believe Dubs got more than Wan'Dale in average money. Essentially, he got the same deal as Mike Evans. And actually, it's more than Michael Pittman's extension. So, just by $1 million, but interesting. Oh, Steelers were doing a real bill whether they want to or not. I mean, on some level, yes. But my point is they're not like total tear down. Like, they're not doing what the Jets did, trade away everyone, etc. We got Doc in here. Good to see you. Brissett is good for fantasy. Last year, I feel like it showed he wasn't good for winning. Agree with that as well. I'm hoping AJ Brown would happen so the wide receiver logjam would break when see Dubs and Jennings land. Yeah, well, we got Dubs. Jennings was probably next. Debo. Let's play fun. Hypothetical Jets offer 4 firsts and Garrett Wilson's for Mahomes. Are you doing that? Ask you, Hames. I'm going to guess the answer is no. Yeah, Bryce Lance, I think is pretty interesting. Okay, 4 for 70. So it's essentially the Wan'Dale deal. Wan'Dale had some incentives as well. That made it like 4 for 78, I think. But so yeah, him and Wan'Dale got similar money. We talked about this at the start yesterday. Let me get into another draft because I do need to get out of here at 3. So I'm going to count this down real quick. Entering in 10 seconds. Entering in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. Boot taste talks. Insane. This moves Dubs up to the Pearsall Wilson range. I think Pearsall's fine. I think Wilson was too high to begin with, and I think he should fall more. Because right now, best case is Brissett. And again, I don't think it's Brissett throwing the ball 40 plus times a game. It's probably Brissett throwing the ball 34 times a game. That's not as great for Michael Wilson. I think this moves Dubs up at least to 85-ish, maybe even higher. Wow, Al saying Dubs just went after DJ Moore. So initial thought at least top 85. The tough thing is Patriots still are, I think, very live to add like draft a receiver or something. But right now, getting some more makes sense. Let's see, did anyone else get in here? A lot of badges. So all badges. Don't really recognize any names. I recognize some names, but probably nobody from chat. Let me know if anyone is in here. And contracts off the board. I will say, so Pierce definitely jumped the market up as expected, but I really thought Wan'Dale would crack 20 million. I thought this was around the area for Dubs, high teens. I thought Wan'Dale would crack 20. I knew Mike Evans would be 20-ish. Pittman, I was surprised, signed an extension for just under 20 million. So the rest of the wide receiver market's been a little bit more fair. Shaheed, I think is a good deal for the Seahawks. I get why they did it. Surprised there wasn't more out there for him. Raiders got Naylor. I know it seems like it is a big pay bump considering what he's done, but I like Jalen Naylor. I think there's some talent there. How Boogie saying DK drafts aren't real. So I think the second and third wide receiver market has actually been better contract wise than I expected, especially now that Dubs is in the same department. Let's go CMC here. I have Monra ahead. Yeah, I'll still go CMC. You got Trey 40-point Tucker. Yeah, so I think there's actually been some good values there in terms of contract wise. So DJ Moore is costing like $24 million, but I still think it's a solid deal for the Bills. Like, part of my initial thing was essentially Wan'Dale was going to sign for what DJ Moore is. I thought Wan'Dale would get like 22 million a year. So he got a little less. So, I mean, I still think it's fine, particularly from the Bills' perspective, because similar to the 49ers, like, these are contending teams. Like, yeah, you could sign a Wan'Dale, definitely not the Bills, but the 49ers could sign Wan'Dale. Wan'Dale's fine, but a big part of Wan'Dale's value and Romeo Doubs is their youth. Like, they're young, you sign them for 4 years, they can play and contribute all 4 years. Well, one positive with Kenneth Walker is it bumps Jeremiah Love back down slightly. But that means less to the Bills and 49ers. Like, yes, they want to contend multiple years in a row, but maximizing their contention this year is important. Yeah, it's Kyle Williams. I've been taking him some in the 20th round, just on the Diggs news. Definitely opens up the logjam, and him and Doubs are different skill sets, so that's why I like if they gone out and signed Shaheed, that's the same kind of skill set. So I kind of see that. It's going to be, I think, Kyle Williams and Kayshon Boutte, though I do wonder if they add a receiver like in the draft. JT asking, have you drafted any on DK yet? Yeah, I don't have any live streams on DK. I'm doing those off stream mainly I do slow. But yeah, I've completed a couple, but I have like 50 drafts going right now on DK. I'm joking, Steve, but you never know with the overreaction. Yeah, DK can be the Wild West sometimes. Excuse me. Let me take T. Higgins here. This is a good question. Will Doubs get the Diggs snaps, or does he get Diggs plus some Hollins? Diggs played less than Hollins and Boutte, but produced more. Yeah, so I mean, a big part of that is Diggs didn't play a lot on clear running downs, and particularly early in the season. Like, his snaps did expand like second half of the year, which makes sense. He was coming off an ACL tear. So Doubs will be out there more just because he's a good run blocker. He's a really good run blocker. So that will help him stay on the field more. And yes, even like being out there on running, quote unquote, running downs doesn't mean everyone's a running down. Like, some of those you are going to mix in passes. So that helps him. And that helped Hollins get, his fair share of work. So yeah, I would imagine Doubs is basically out there 90% of snaps. And no, I could see him having a 1,000-yard year for sure. I'm going to be moving him up for definitely. The real question is, now we know Pacheco is the 2, is Gibbs the 101. I mean, I think I'm still in the Bijan camp, but I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I really don't. I think these two guys are just a cut ahead. Let's take Lad, a little fall here. Boutte over Doubs? No. I mean, they're not giving Doubs that kind of money for him not to be an integral part of their team. Now, could Kayshon Boutte have a good year? Absolutely. But I think Boutte has to, take away snaps from Kyle Williams, nipping at his heels. Yeah, that's not great for Washington because, their wide receiver depth chart behind McLaurin is pretty thin right now. It's just Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane. Yeah, no, so wait, 4 years, $80 million for Dubs. So it is back to $20 million. Boy, this contract, by the time we get off stream, he's gonna Jamar Chase money. So I see this report. Carson Wentz squarely in the mix for Jets backup quarterback. And that had been reported, about a week ago that Frank Wright and Carson Wentz were pretty close. Pacheco round 7 now. Yeah, I do think he probably gets in the draftable range. I haven't seen the contract. I'm expecting it to be like $2 million. Would be my guess. The tough thing at this time, look, if we're in July and he's the number 2, I will be drafting. There's no question on that. But right now, it's just they could draft any number of people, even on day 3, who end up just beating out Pacheco. I'll take Swift here for a third running back. So that is, my concern there a bit. Yeah. When I'm on Whoheim's channel, Romeo Dubs will be getting more than Alec Pierce. Anyway, Washington could draft Love and trade for BTJ. That seems unlikely, but who knows if it's only costing a 3rd round pick for BTJ and then some. But that seems unlikely. They absolutely do. They've and apparently, they did get Oweh, but he was their second choice behind Jalen Phillips. They were in on quite a few free agents and didn't get many across the finish line. So it will be, I wonder if they just go back to Devo at this point. So here, I'll go Joe Burrow. Just going to wait, but Burrow right at ADP with Higgins, that feels good. And no, it's just, what's crazy is 2 years ago when they went far, they were kind of a thin team behind Terry McLaurin, but they had guys like Austin Eckler. They had guys like Zach Ertz. They don't even have those guys anymore. And they had Tyler Biadasz. Now, since then, they've added Laremy Tunsil and Josh Connerly Jr. So their offensive line, even losing Biadasz, is probably an upgrade over what it was 2 years ago. But their skill guys are worse. I think by pretty fair margin. And that's just not great. Still plenty of time. But they also, keep in mind, they don't have a 2nd round pick. Yeah, but they kind of knew that was going to be his range, high teens, touching 20 million. That was going to be I think that was going to be the range for both Dubs and Wan'Dale, given their age. Honestly, who they should have been in on was Shaheed at his price. Like, what was he? 15.5 million, I think, maybe more. He was. I'm trying to remember his contract off the top of my head, but definitely a tier down. Because keep in mind, Jacoby Myers signed for 20 million a year as an extension last year. So this I don't get. Why is Alec Pierce not moving up? He not only re-signs with the Colts, but then they get rid of his number one target competition last year in Michael Pittman. Not that all those targets flow to Alec Pierce, but we could see Alec Pierce have 100, 120 targets for sure. No, and this, like, even if we question his fantasy upside, though, I actually think he's a pretty good red zone receiver. He is absolutely, his blocking is huge, not just in the running game, but in like screens and stuff like that, downfield blocking for other receivers. So no, coaches do love him. BTJ and Daniels played together in college. I bet Daniels, for sure. It's just a matter of, this is a problem with them giving up so many picks in recent years, namely the Marcus Lattimore and Tunsil. And while Tunsil you can say is worth it, Lattimore is just a huge bust. They gave up way too many picks, and now they're the oldest roster in the league. The last 2 seasons, they still have a lot of cap space, but they still have a lot of holes. I think I take Trevor Lawrence here. Take 2 early quarterbacks. There's a chance Wandale comes back to me. Algier, I moved him to 103. Connor, I moved up to like 120 something. I think so. I think he should crack the top 100. Has a very real chance to be the Patriots' number 1 receiver. Even if he's not fully matching what Diggs did. Diggs was a top 20 receiver last year. I think he finished like wide receiver 16. So, and Diggs was light on the touchdown department. So even if Doubs doesn't have Diggs' yards, he probably has more touchdowns than Diggs had. Is Tyler Warren moving up? He's the indie player I want the most. I haven't seen him move up, but it also makes sense. Him and Pittman worked a lot of the same area. They still have Josh Downs there. But you would think, you definitely think that it's a boon for Tyler Warren as well. Mac Jones' price is astronomical. Well, I mean, there's only so many quarterbacks out there. So it does seem like, guys like Kyler and Cousins are at least quality options. Doubs over Jacoby Myers. I mean, from a total standpoint, I agree. His ability to play outside is just more valuable. There's just more slot receivers, and while Myers can play a little outside, like he primarily works in the slot. So positionally, age, red zone ability, blocking ability, Jadarian Price, Wandale. Still think wide receivers deeper, so let me go Jadarian Price here. I'm still pretty shocked that he's moved down since the combine, when to me, and I've mentioned this with Huhames and others, entering the combine, I thought it was a much closer race for RB2, 3, 4. Now, after the combine, I think he is firmly in RB2 of this draft class category and firmly in the second round. And the other backs are probably more firmly in the third round, not fourth. So I don't know why Jatarian Price moves down. I mean, I do think I get, Algier above him, Rico above him now. I get that. And honestly, I think Gainwell and Dobbins is one, I moved way up. We just saw it a year ago. And Dobbins actually got, don't look now, but Dobbins got the most money not named Walker ETN. I think he averaged, $10 million a year. So, that is something we should be interested in. I'll take Debo. No, let me go Boston. Maybe Debo. Debo slides more lately. I think he signs, the next day or two, and he just starts moving up, but probably can get him later. So. I mean, I definitely understand why teams want to trade for BTJ, and but even if it's why I think it would be risky for the Jags to do, as I mentioned. But if they get a fair offer, even a second and a third, I could see them doing it. I probably wouldn't do it, but I could at least see them doing it. But it's just a third round pick. What are we even talking about here? Oh, this is interesting. Jets and Geno Smith agreed to restructure contract with the Raiders, assuming bulk of this year's salary. So it sounds like even more salary relief for the Raiders than if they outright cut him. That is, the Raiders really fleeced them in the deal. They were going to cut him, and now it sounds like the Raiders have to pay less money with the way this is worded. Good for them. And I think that opens up them adding some veteran backup. Yeah, Justin Fields probably gets cut pretty soon then at this point. Debo, Concepcion, any of these guys would be perfect click for me. I'm gonna go Shakir. Maybe, just maybe, I can push Debo back. And you know what? I didn't even look. Yeah, where did Dobbs go? Downs also. I moved him up. Where did Dobbs go in this? He went at 115. So yeah, that was my bad for not looking when I took Boston. Definitely made a mistake there. So I will be on right after this with Who Hames. And so I will drop the link. We have a few picks to go. Probably started this stream or this draft a bit late. Kelsey also. So maybe I can push him to the next round. So ideally I take one of these three receivers. I like Connor here, but my running backs are, I think, strong enough. Let's see if I can get one of Debo or Diggs back to me. Shard White going. I think that's a fair fair bet at this point. Let's take Debo. Put it on the strange stack with Lawrence, but I'd rather get another receiver in that window. Now I feel this is just a very strong 2-4-6 team. Let's get a tight end. And I feel much better about this team. Like I said, my ranks here, I just have tons of tight ends. I just feel this is such a sweet spot. This 13th, 14th, 15th round at tight end. I guess starting in the 12th round, but that just feels like such a great spot for tight end right now. McMillan's another one I moved up. I moved him up about a round. I was slightly lower than him, like late 150s, so it's like more like a round and a half for me. But I think all the Tampa receivers get a big, nice boost to Mike Evans leaving. Oh man, if I could get Strange back, that would be very sweet in this draft. Yeah, I probably will move him up a little bit. Because Geno has shown an ability to support top end receivers. Like, that was just something Justin Fields never did. This is my argument against Fields. I was okay drafting Fields last year, but I was kind of out on Geno. I know Garrett Wilson had some good games with Fields, week 1 versus Steelers, and a couple garbage time games against like the Dolphins and Cowboys, maybe one other one. Getting Strange back is quite nice there. But the argument was like Fields just historically outside the DJ Moore couple games with Chicago just had not been a big time producer for wide receivers. Geno has a better track record, mainly just with Seattle. But we even saw last year, Trey Tucker had a couple big games early on. Before things really went off the wagon and wheels went off the wagon. Then Brock Bowers, had a couple monster games. So it's not like Geno was completely devoid of supporting someone. So I feel I'll probably tick Garrett Wilson up a few spots. Strange has been falling. Yeah, I don't understand. That one I don't get at all. I think most of the tight end market is mispriced right now. But the Strange one surprises me, like at least with like Andrews or Kelsey, it's like there's a lot of moving pieces. Andrews' new offense coming off like his worst year. Didn't get Likely back, but we will take Hunter Henry here. And the Strange one though, yeah, he missed some time. He missed 5 weeks or whatever. But when he came back, he was very well used. That offense was really taking off, and it just feels like, things should be wheels up for Strange. If so, Flyfish, I missed that. If so, I think that's probably terrible reasoning. Teams at the combine, it's get 30 or 40 visits. I can't remember how many. So they meet with a lot of players, one more than they have draft picks for, one more than they have needs of. I wouldn't be surprised if they look to add like a tight end in this draft because they don't really have anything behind Strange. But Stowers is probably the high end of that. Even if they did, I don't think it impacts them this year. Remember, Strange was a second round pick himself and did nothing to Evan Ingram's fantasy value that year. Evan Ingram got injured and missed some time and hurt himself, but Strange was not like stealing snaps from Evan Ingram. And if Stowers goes there, it's a bad landing spot for Stowers. Kind of like Elijah Arroyo last year. Sure. I mean, Stowers is an athletic freak, but Brenton Strange has done it at the NFL level, and he was a second-round pick. I understand it was a different regime, but this guy's produced in the NFL. That usually matters something. And, I just don't see and the Jags. They have multiple third-round picks. They only have one second-round pick. So maybe if they feel Stowers, then they could take a tight end there. But also worth mentioning, I brought up Brenton Strange. His vertical jump was in the 81 percentile, and that's at 6'3", 253. That was like 10 pounds heavier than Stowers. He had a 36-inch vertical jump, 124-inch broad jump, but again, at a much 10-pound heavier weight than Stowers. So Strange is, pretty athletic in his own right. I will take Kamara. This is right where I have him ranked. I know there's some talk he might get traded now, which could open up more doors for him. But worst case scenario, he's the number 2 pass catching back behind ETN. Yeah, he can pay off 175. So given the Jags' needs out there, I'd be pretty shocked if tight end is early on their bingo card, especially without a first round. Do stranger things happen? Absolutely. But it's we'll see. I guess I just don't see it, given you can make that case about so many teams out there, players out there. Yeah, no way. And this could be the other reason why the Jags are looking for another tight end, is they want to be in 12 personnel more. I'm trying to remember who their number 2 tight end is off the top of my head. They gave him solid money, but I think he's in the last year of his deal. Let me look up their team real quick. Got to make a pick. To get ready to jump on Whoheem stream. So this is a mistake. I could have sworn I moved Theo Johnson down. I must have forgotten to move him. Definitely deserves to go much lower. We'll take Surratt here. Should have considered Kayshon Boutte, but Johnny Munt and Hunter Long, yeah. So, they're solid blockers, but neither one has any pass catching ability. I would think the Jags take a later tight end. Agreed, yeah. Strange at great value to access Jags offense. Yeah, that's how I feel. A guy who I really like, who I could see them taking like the late 3rd round, because they have a couple late 3rd round picks, would be Sam Roush from Stanford. Really good blocker, good size. Him and Strange, if they want to go more 12 personnel, that's a great fit for them. All right, coming up. picks, and I'm sitting at 2.572. Do want to get a third quarterback, but taking 2 early, I feel pretty good about the position. And here is the link for Stream with Who games I'll be jumping on right after this. Right, I will take Jalen Naylor here. I moved him up in my initial ranks at 160. Might even move him higher than that. Right now, I'm willing to take him as the first Raiders receiver. I like Trey Tucker, but I think Naylor, Naylor's the one they paid. Naylor's the one they chose to bring in. I think that does say something. Does that mean Tucker and or Besh are totally dead? No, but I do think Naylor's the guy I'm going to kind of take the lead on with. But right now you can get him still much after even Tucker. So I do want to scoop a little bit of Naylor while we can. Super athletic at tight end is a great move for Jacksonville. T-Law preferring to throw short. No, and I just think we see Liam Cohen's offense. It was very, I thought it was really good. Early in the season they had a lot of hiccups, and the BTJ stuff never figured it out. It was wild, but you really saw them get their groove. And what was crazy was at a time when BTJ was a little banged up, when Hunter went down. We saw the one great game with Hunter, and then of course he goes down. And Parker Washington really stepped up. The trade for Jacoby Myers was huge. But Brenton Strange coming back was a big part of that. I really think that opened things up for them, having a tight end who could move the chains and be a weapon. I truly think was a big part for them. I'm going to take Tua here. I think we should be drafting Tua now, for sure. And maybe Penix ends up with the job, but I'll lean Tua. Just saw a report. The Colts are still trying to work out a long-term deal with Daniel Jones. They want to get that done by tomorrow because technically teams could make offers to Daniel Jones. They have the ability to match, but that can complicate matters. And also, when they do work out a long-term deal, his cap hit for next season will be less, so that will allow them to do other things. Another free agent signing I didn't mention, Braden Smith, offense tackle, signing with Houston. Absolutely huge. The Texans O-line, such a mess. Good news for Monty. Good news for Stroud, for sure. They have a lot more they need to do, but that's a good step. All right, I'm going to make these last 2 picks and then I will get out of here. Thank you everyone for joining, for liking this episode. If you're coming over from Twitter, jump in to say, hit the like button. We appreciate you. Sub if you're not subbed on YouTube. And feel free to leave a comment after. That helps us as well. We really appreciate the support. I will be back on tomorrow at 1. Might do more of an extended show tomorrow as well. That was really fun yesterday. Maybe not 5 hours, but could be like a 3-4 hour show for sure. Because free agency, these things will be going on and being official. And, I just think we can react to more and more. We'll need to see, I'm sure we'll see some cuts and maybe a few more trades. So feel good at quarterback, feel good at wide receiver. Go Ollie Gordon here. Running back Claiborne would have been my pick. And I will top it off with the tight end. Strange and Henry, I think, are fine. But I'll add another tight end. Darnell Washington isn't terrible. That's kind of what I'll be at. So I'm going to make this pick and get out of here. Thank you again, everyone. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day and hope to see you over on Whoheem Stream in just 1 minute. All right, Parkinson will be my last pick, and I am going to head on out. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.